team. Everybody ready?
Abstain from proceeding, so cool. Yep.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the November 16th council meeting. This is going to be a really fun, exciting meeting. I see lots of smiling faces in the audience. I love it when we have fun stuff on our agenda. So we're going to start with a pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence, please, if you'll join me. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. Jackie, can you call the roll, please?
Yes, Mayor. Mayor Velardo,
Here.
Vice Mayor Evans,
Here.
Ms. Russell,
Here.
Mr. Mitchell,
Here.
Mr. Redmond,
Here.
Ms. Chamberlain,
Here.
Mr. Haskins.
A motion to excuse?
I'll make a motion to excuse Mr. Haskins.
Second.
Mr. Redmond,
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain,
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes.
Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes. Okay. The first item on our agenda is a proclamation for Small Business Saturday, which, as you already know, starting the weekend after Thanksgiving is the kickoff to supporting our small businesses and our hometown holidays. So every year, we write a proclamation in support of Small Business Saturday. So if you'll allow me, I would just like to read this into the record. Whereas the government of Milford, Ohio celebrates our local small businesses and the contributions they make to our local economy and community. And whereas, according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 31.7 million small businesses in the United States. They represent 99.7% of the firms with paid employees, and they are responsible for 65.1% of net new jobs created from 2000 to 2019. And whereas small businesses employ 47.1% of the employees in the private sector in the United States, 88% of the U.S. consumers feel a personal commitment to support small businesses in the wake of the pandemic, and 92% of small businesses owners have pivoted the way they do business to stay open during the pandemic. Whereas 97% of Small Business Saturday shoppers recognize the impact they can make by shopping small, 85% of them also encourage friends and family to do so. 56% of shoppers reported that they shop online with a small business on Small Business Saturday in 2020, and more than 50% of consumers who reported shopping small endorsed a local business on social media or shopped at a local business because of a social media recommendation. Whereas Milford, Ohio supports our local businesses that create jobs, boost our local economy, and preserve our communities. Whereas advocacy groups, as well as public and private organizations across the country, have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. Now therefore, I, Amy Velardo, Mayor of Milford, do hereby proclaim November 27th, 2021 as Small Business Saturday. So folks, shop local. Shop local, buy your Christmas gifts, go spend money. I like how they've changed this up a little bit since the ones I've read in the past about social media and the prevalence of social media, how important that is. So give them a plug, a shout out, but consider shopping local through the holidays. All right, Louderman family, are you ready to do something really exciting? I guess you all know why you're here, right? So, I'm going to ask those of you to join me at the podium. I need somebody to hold this. All the family members, come on. Don't be shy. It's not like you're on TV or anything.
It's just Facebook Live. You're
It's
right.
just Facebook Live. Millions of people are watching. Will you hold that for me?
Sure.
Okay, so I think this camera here is going to be one that's going to pick you up the most.
All right.
Where's Gail? Right here. Where are you? All right, will you stand up here with me? okay? Hi, Angela. Guys, this is so exciting. So I am so honored to be here today, and don't look at me, I'm gonna cry.
That's what I was thinking, I can't do that, I gotta look away.
I'm just so tickled to be here. I know most of you, but I don't know if I know all of you, but one of my first acts of community involvement was working with Valley View. I joined them on their board and became executive member, and I stayed with them for as long as I could until Chris kicked me out. Chris said, Amy, you cannot be on council and be on our board. We need you to go be on council and help us from that perspective, so you gotta leave. So that's why I'm no longer there, or I would still be there with you today. I'm always there in spirit and in heart. So Bob was just a phenomenal human being. There's no one like him. I know that his sister and his brother are here. The eulogy that they gave at the funeral just gave me goosebumps because it was just spot on. There just isn't a man who had a greater love of community and gave back the way that he did. I hope that what we're doing today with this token of naming a street after him will even slightly come close to doing what we think he deserves. So the city has partnered with the school, and the driveway into, I'm yelling city, the driveway into Patterson Elementary School is a city-owned street. So we contacted the superintendent and we said, we want to rename that street, which doesn't have a name. We want to rename it Loudeman Lane, and that's what we've done. We've created a street that's going to be named after him that takes you right to Valley View. So we're going to install this, we're going to set up a date, we're going to work with Vanessa and Chris and Gail and find a date that will be appropriate to come down there and install this sign. We'll have a little ceremony down there, but I can't think of a better way to recognize him than to name a street after him, that after we're all long gone, those kids are still driving down Loudeman Way to go to Patterson School and to Valley View. So I think it's wonderful.
Up there, looking down, knowing that he made a difference and he left a mark.
Right, for real. He really did. So let me read this proclamation into the record. I have to say whereas again 5 more times. Whereas Robert Edward Loudeman Jr. was the 6th generation of Loudemans who grew up on the land that is now Valley View through a hard, humble childhood, working that farm with his father and grandfather. And whereas his well-told stories of the farm, the 5 generations of his family that lived there before him, and the people from a simpler time will always be remembered. And whereas Bob was a dear friend to many in our community, incorporator, and first board chair of the Valley View Foundation. Without his dreams of what could be and determination to make it happen, Valley View wouldn't exist as we know it today. Bob was immensely proud of the successful efforts to preserve his family's home and enjoy spending time around the barns, along the trails and in the gardens every day with his family and friends. Now, therefore, I, Mayor Amy Villardo, on behalf of my colleagues on the Milford City of Council, hereby respectfully honor the memory of Robert Bob Loudeman Jr. for all his contributions to the city of Milford. Thank you. And you guys want to get pictures? I would love to have council stand up behind here and everybody come up with the signs. We can get a picture of everybody. Come on up. We'll squeeze in. Jamie, do you want to get in there, Vanessa? We can take pictures.
Usually I do that my time. I know, I'm so short. I'm always so short, I don't get to see. Tiptoes. I could be the side.
Right way? Okay.
Can we see?
Ready? I don't think. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Awesome. Let me take one over here for a second, just in case. Well-documented moment. All right. Thank you all.
Yeah. Chris, do you want to say it? Yeah. Anybody else want to say that? Please feel free to go to the podium. You're speaking next.
Well, like Meneer said, there's
one too many lawyers in this room, so I'll get out of here quickly. It is.
Actually said too many.
I'll be the one that's, but thank you so much. This means so much to the family, and Bob would be looking down and smiling and laughing and probably doing other things. So he loved this town, and he, Valley View wouldn't be here but for Bob, but it also wouldn't be here but for the city of Milford and city council at the time and ever since. So thank you all on behalf of the family for that. And we'll all enjoy, Googling and GPSing to Lodeman Lane from now on. Thank you all.
Thank you. Does anybody else want to speak? Well, I thought I'd do a lot of things as mayor in my day, but this wasn't one of them. So I am truly honored that I got to do this today. So I thank you. So we're going to do some work now. You're welcome to stay and watch us do work. Or if you want to exit left, now would be the appropriate time. So we look forward to seeing you all again at the installation. Thank you. Oh, I almost made it. All right. Next on our agenda is a public hearing for a zone change. I'm going to ask Pam to step up to the podium. We're going to open the meeting to a public hearing. Is there anybody in the audience who would like to speak? If so, you will need to be sworn in. No? Nope.
Mr. Solner's here representing the church. I don't know.
You want to be sworn in just in case? All right. Mr. Manier will swear you in.
So I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you. All right, Pam, would you like to present?
Sure. Thank you, Mayor, Council. The location of this zone change, it's 3 parcels. 2 parcels have an address, 564 Main Street and 568 Main Street. Property owner is St. Andrew Church. Tax parcel IDs 210-730-E012, 210-730-E011, and 210-730-E010. The existing zoning is institutional district, and the existing use is storage and an occasional meeting rooms. The proposed zoning is R3 single-family residential, and the proposed use is residential. The adjacent land use to the north is I institutional district. To the east is R3 single-family. To the west is I institutional district, and to the south is R3 single-family residential. There's this process, the zone change process. After receiving the Planning Commission recommendation, the City Council will hold a public hearing. Following the public hearing and after reviewing the Planning Commission's recommendation, Council shall vote on the proposal. The Council may overrule the Planning Commission recommendation by a 2/3 vote of the full membership of Council. Planning Commission held a public hearing on October 13th, 2021. No one spoke against the request. Planning Commission recommended approval of the applicant's request to rezone 3 parcels from I institutional zoning district to R3 single-family residential zoning district. Residential zoning along this section of Main Street is appropriate considering adjacent property is zoned R3 single-family residential. The request is consistent with the goals and objectives in the city's comprehensive and land use plans. The zone change will not negatively impact city services. Staff supports the applicant's request to rezone tax parcel IDs 210-730-E012, 0111, and 010 from I institutional district to R3 single-family residential district. And I attached a zoning map and an aerial just to show you exactly which 3 parcels we're talking about. This is probably one of the easiest cases that I've had since I've been here. So, it seems to make total sense. So, but I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
I don't have any questions. Thank you, Pam. Anybody from the audience, comments, questions? Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much. We support this rezoning.
Thank you. All right. All right, so there are no further questions? We can close the public hearing? Make a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Do you want us to vote on this now? Or,
I mean,
Can we?
you could, typically we wait until the next meeting.
that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, just double checking. Okay, we good? All right. Moving on.
Thank you.
That was super easy, thank you. Yeah, come back anytime. Okay, proceedings. Council has had a chance to review, and do I have a motion to approve the proceedings from November the 4th?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Financial
Mr. Redmond?
Abstain.
Sorry, Ben.
Sorry.
Financial statements, I need a motion to adopt the September finance report.
So moved. Second.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Public comments. Janet or Joe, anything?
I don't have anything, do you? Plenty to say over there.
Right? Okay, we're going to keep on going. There are no standing committee reports at this time, so manager report, Mr. Doss.
Thank you, Mayor. A few updates this evening as we round out 2021. Sycamore Street Stormwater Project update. The Sycamore Street Stormwater Replacement Project is on schedule to be completed by early next week. High Street and Sycamore Street should be fully open prior to Thanksgiving in hometown for the holidays weekend. So good news on that front. The Sanitary Sewer Lift Station Screen Project update. The lift station screen project is finally complete and in operation. The city is now finalizing reimbursement for payment from the grants that we receive funding from the Ohio Public Works Commission. Just a reminder, the city did apply for funding in the state's 2022 capital budget for a canoe and kayak launch at Jim Terrell Park. That new launch will provide better river access and assist with emergency response to river rescues on the Little Miami River. The state capital budget is a direct appropriation from the Ohio General Assembly and the Governor's Office. Applications are scheduled to be reviewed next week and finalized by the 1st of December. So hopefully we'll have possibly a good thing to report on as we get closer to the holidays on that project. Speaking of holidays, hometown for the holidays is next weekend. We will have our tree lighting ceremony on Friday, November the 26th. At 6:30 p.m. at Memorial Park. That's Friday, November 26th, 6:30 at Memorial Park. Santa will be on hand to assist with the tree lighting and greet the children. So everybody, if you can, come out to that event. Always a nice little ceremony. Standing committees. Reminder: December 1st, not next week, but the week after, we will have an Administrative Services Committee meeting at 4 o'clock. And then some other reminders, November 25th and 26th. November 25th is Thanksgiving. And then, of course, the 26th is the day after Thanksgiving, which the city observes both as holidays, and our city hall offices will be closed both of those days. Our next regularly scheduled city council meeting is December 7th at 7. And then December 8th is a planning commission meeting at 6.
Thank you, Mr. Doss. Hi, Chief.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I don't have a monthly report for you tonight, but I did want to announce that our annual, and we're now back to in-person, Shop with a Hero will be December 9th at Target at 6 p.m. You know, in addition to our CPA volunteers, a lot of council members like to volunteer for that. So Thursday, December 9th, 6 p.m. at Target.
Got it. We'll be there.
Thank you.
Thank you. How you doing, Chief?
Good. Good evening. I just want to add a couple things, as Mayor Velardo mentioned about the hometown holidays. The fire department will be there also on Friday and Saturday doing antique fire truck rides. The time will be from 11 to 4 each day, and we'll be parked at Garfield in Maine. The next thing I want to bring up is December 19th at 1 o'clock is our annual Santa Sunday. So Reminder, just plan ahead, listen for the fire trucks, listen for the sirens, and again, we'll be giving treats out to all the local kids.
And this Thursday is the holiday parade in Miami Township.
Yes.
And we'll be participating in that on the old fire truck.
That's right, we will be there.
And you're driving it this year?
I am.
That's awesome. I'll see you there. Thank you.
Yeah, on a Sunday.
All right, council comments?
I have a comment.
Yep.
I just want to take a moment. I was absent from the last meeting, but I want to take a moment to acknowledge Mike Manier and the committee that worked on the charter. I thought it was a really cool process to be a part of and learn and see, and I thought they did a lot of good work on it. I was unfortunate to see that it failed, but that is democracy and stuff, but I wanted to acknowledge the law director.
Thank you, Ben.
I should have asked Jamie while he's up here, but Jamie, maybe you can clarify, St. Andrew Church on Main Street, the parking, they have now like striped that along the road, and it looks like parking spots, but I heard that people at church were getting warnings because it's not really parking spots.
Yes, that was,
that correct?
I agree, that was a deceiving way
Can
to
they like
mark that.
diagonal stripe it or something?
Yeah, Mr. Dawson and I have
Okay.
talked about this at length, and yeah, we're going to make some changes. Yeah,
They mentioned it at church Sunday, but like to remind people, but I
Right,
just thought
yeah,
we'd put
that's,
it out
we
there.
we did not add 7 parking spaces on Main Street. We were attempting to paint a gore in there to keep people from traveling in 2 lanes when it's really just intended to be 1.
That's what I thought, but at first it did look like parking
I
kind of.
agree, I agree.
If I may, they've actually went and added more slanted
they?
lines
Okay.
there now, so it's kind of definitive, no parking there as well. so.
All right, thank you.
Good question. Do you want to read a motion into the record?
Yes, I move that we go into executive session at the conclusion of tonight's meeting pursuant to section 3.051 of the Milford City Charter for the sole purpose of considering the compensation of a city employee.
Need a second?
Second.
Mr. Mitchell?
Yes.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, being there is no new business and we do not have any ordinance and resolutions, it looks like we're going into executive session. So will we be coming back on the record for the purpose of closing out the meeting? For those of you watching, thank you. And don't forget to shop Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hometown holidays next week. There'll be trolley rides and hot chocolate, and stores are open late, and all kinds of fun stuff. So remember those small businesses. So thank you, and we'll see you in a couple weeks. Happy Thanksgiving.